Hello, parents. My name is Josh Ochs, and this is the student version of the parent presentation where we walk you through what we teach students all over the country in hopes that you can use this presentation to talk to your students how to shine online using social media. I get the opportunity to share this next short presentation with students all over the country. If you've watched our previous other presentations about the good and bad apps, I do not show that content to students all over the country, but I do show this. I teach students 4 things when I talk to them. First, I teach them how to search for themselves on Google so they can see what colleges find. Next, I teach them Instagram post ideas. Next, I teach them how to search for some celebrities to see some online branding and exactly how to lose an opportunity and get fired from a job using social media. Now, but first, a little bit about me. I got my start at Walt Disney Studios learning from some of the smartest brand marketers how to package something so that people would want to buy it and take it home. I then took those techniques and used them as I ran for politics in a suburb called Hermosa Beach, a suburb of Los Angeles. As the youngest person on the ballot, I explained to students that there's a lot I didn't know about politics, but one of the things I did know is that when people would see my sign on houses or bicycles all over the city, that they would probably go to search for me, and they'd want to learn more about me and see what people really said. And I knew that I could flood the internet with positive, authentic, real stuff about all the positive activities I was doing to help others, and that they would eventually find that so that they could find out more about who I really am. And I could make sure that other people didn't come up, but instead myself. I'm going to show your students how to do that today and show you as well. I then wrote a book called Light, Bright, and Polite because I was traveling the country teaching brands this. Brands were watching, and I wrote another book called Light, Bright, and Polite for parents. The first one's for business, the second one's for parents. And I want to show you some of those techniques here today. But this isn't just for college. This also helps your students get a job in all of these different places. So we'll talk to you about that as well. Now, step 1. How many of you might have searched for your students online this month? What I want to do is teach you, as I've done this past, the 7 ways that colleges will search for your students. They'll start with Google. They'll search for the first and last name, which are the 2 different words right there, which can be found in any order on a page. Then they're going to search for the first and last name in quotes, which we've shown you in the past presentation. When you search in quotes, that tells Google, hey Google, here are these 2 keywords. We want to search for the first name plus a space plus the last name in that order. It could be at the top of a page or the bottom of the page, but we need those 2 words to be in the key phrase on a page, which really starts to hone in on who your student is. Then colleges will search for your students' first and last name plus city, and then first and last name plus school. And that's really important. We're going to go look at my search results here. In the upper left, we have Josh Ochs. In the upper right, Josh Ochs. These are the same search results, but we're searching for different versions of me. The important note is I've flooded the internet over the last decade with positive stuff that I've done online, and it ends up turning out in a positive way to look like me. But look at the bottom. You see how my Twitter account pops up? It's very important to note that my Twitter account, all of my tweets can be viewed on my first page of Google. Next is Josh Ochs and my high school, and in the right-hand side, Josh Ochs plus the city that I live in. I've gone through all of these results, and I've made sure that I and my parents are proud of these results so that we know what to expect when colleges search for us. Next, in the upper left is my name with my middle name, Josh, and then my middle name plus my last name. And in the upper right is my email address. This is really important. You need to know, search for your student's email address so that it won't be found. Now let's go search for me old school. And as you can see, we're searching for Josh Ochs up here at the top. The first thing that comes up is my personal website, my Twitter, my LinkedIn. Oh, and there's images. What do you think a college would click on first? Yeah, they'd probably click on images. So as we click on images, we're taken to my image tab. You can also click on the image tab up here at the top to get to this for your student. And there are many different things here. This first image, the second image up here at the top is a check that my friend wrote to the Hermosa Beach Fire Department. I was able to connect my friend with the Hermosa Beach Fire Department, and they were able to pay for just enough money to be able to help to buy a life-saving device. They asked me to be in the photo, which is really neat, and I'm proud that that photo ends up on the first page of my Google results. Then there's me on the day of the election, and there's me with a dog. But why is there a baby dressed as Harry Potter on my Google results? Is that a little weird? Is that perhaps in line with the story I'm trying to tell to colleges? Perhaps not. Now your students may be thinking, oh, Josh, you don't understand. They're going to click on the most noble photo here, Josh. You don't understand. No, actually, I don't think so. I always ask students, is that how you think the world works? They're going to click on the best photo? No. They're going to look at my Google results and they're going to say, what is that? And they will not look at anything else because they want to know what the weirdest photo is and why it's coming up. And this is what I want to talk to students about is find that weirdest photo and find out why is that coming up. And ask yourself, do you feel comfortable, even with your private Instagram or Twitter page, printing it out and attaching it to your college application and telling them, look, I babysit, I volunteer, I travel, this is who I am. If you feel comfortable with that, then you're okay with every one of your images getting out and ending up in your Google results. If you don't, then we got a little work to do on your Instagram. Now, step 2 is creating a portfolio of positive images. And here's my formula for positive images. We suggest to students to volunteer somewhere. That could be at an animal shelter, a hospital, a senior home. It could be Red Cross, Habitat for Humanity, walking a neighbor's dog. It doesn't matter. While they're doing it, ask the organization, can I take a group photo of my friends and I doing this? And if they ask and say why, you say, I want to promote you guys. Great. And you can put whatever you want below the photo. The message below it could say anything. But if you need some ideas, here's some ideas. Say thank you to this organization for giving me the opportunity for this activity, or anything along those lines. Say thank you to the organization. It makes it less about you. What does that look like? Well, here's what it looks like. Here's my friend Camille on the far left. Instead of making it all about her, she posts a group photo of her friends and her and says, thanks to my friends. She makes it more about them. Here's Rich on the far right, Channel 5 newscaster. He knows that he could make it all about himself, but instead he says, thank you to Shelter Hope Pet Shop for letting us share some of our tech tips with you. It's more about the organization. Next, special thanks to my team at Disneyland. Now, this is my friend Lisa on the far right. And she knows that every once in a while it's good to bring her team together instead of it just being about her. And next is Miss Utah on the far left. She knows it's more important to make it about other people than just herself. So she says, thank you to my friends that supported me over the last year. Once again, they're inclusive and they're making it about others, not just themselves. Some of these people do take selfies and it's well balanced though, and not every photo is a selfie. Step 3. What does your online brand say about you? Well, colleges say, be yourself, but make sure you keep it full of a little bit of positivity and gratitude. And that's really important here. You can make fun of yourself, but keep it positive with some gratitude. We're gonna search for Ellen DeGeneres and Buddy the Elf, 2 different celebrities, and we're going to ask ourselves, what would USC, UCLA, Stanford, Harvard, or your student's dream school think about these people online? First, let's go look at Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen here, we're searching for her and we're looking at the upper left. It says Ellen TV and then Twitter and then over here. And oh, what are these? Well, these are images. Let's go click on Ellen's images and see what comes up. So here we have Ellen smiling. She's doing great. She's very professional. She looks great, very positive, very authentic. And as we scroll down, Ellen's doing great. Ellen's awesome. And she has a consistent brand, but who's that? And that is one of those reasons why we need to search. We've got Kanye West is in her Google results, which is great, but it tells a very different story than her smiling, and someone that's not smiling. Next, let's look at Buddy the Elf, and let's see what he looks like online. Let's go search for Buddy the Elf. We have the Elf film, we have IMDb, funniest moments. Oh, and over on the right, we have Buddy doing the splits. Well, let's go search for Buddy. Let's click on the Images tab up at the top of Google. okay, we have Buddy the Elf and doing all kinds of stuff from the movie, and I just like to smile, and let's scroll down a little bit and see the next page. And this all looks like Buddy, but who's this person with all this hair? And who's this person with not that much hair? And does Buddy the Elf know that he has a picture of him in a bathtub on the internet? These are important points, and this is why Buddy the Elf, even though he thinks he's not on social media, he still needs to search for himself online to see who else comes up, these other people that might be doing bad things under his name. Josh, what if I don't like my Google results? That's a really good question. The students ask me all the time. When I'm at an event like a birthday party or a sporting event, I always volunteer my phone to take pictures and control my image. And I tell my friends, hey, let's take a group photo. I volunteer my phone to somebody that can take the photo, and I tell my friends, hey, take a few silly photos if you want. Stick your tongue out, be silly, whatever. But for one of them, I want it to be classy. Just one. And then at the end of the night, who's the one with the photos in their phone? Is it my friends or me? It's me. Then on the upper left, I can say, all right, the silly one, I'll text it to a friend. There's the dorky one, I'll text it to a friend. The one that's wild, I won't send that anywhere because I don't want that getting out. And then the one that's classy, that not only do my friends look great around me, but I look great in the middle, that's the one I'll post on Instagram, my new resume where everything looks great. Now, step 4, how to lose an opportunity with just one post, one tweet. I want to tell you about a company called Cisco. We don't work for this company. I don't get paid by them. This isn't an endorsement, but they have 72,000 chances to meet people, employees all over the world, 65 plus countries that they operate in, and over 300 million of all TV homes watch using Cisco here. So I'd like to tell you exactly how to get fired from this company. You see, this young woman, she saw that on their website. They had a job opportunity, and she had just finished college. She went to a good school, and she worked hard. She applied for the school, applied for the job, and she got a call a week later, and they said, we'd like to invite you in for a first-round interview. This young woman, she said, great, I'd love to do that. And this is what I'd like for all of your students, is the chance to get an interview. She went in for the interview. She did extremely well. And they called her a week later and said, we loved your application, your resume, your interview. We'd like to offer you the chance to join the Cisco family. And we'd like to give you the opportunity to get an iPhone or a phone, a salary, and benefits. What do you say? And she said, I'd love to. She hung up the phone, and what do you think she did next? She went to Twitter, and here's the tweet she sent. She said, Cisco just offered me a job. Now I have to weigh the fat paycheck against the daily commute and hating the work. Now, I often ask students, hey students, do you think that they saw this? Yes. Do you think that it's generous when an organization says no to 100 other resumes and they say yes to you? Yes. Do you think that a college is being generous when they say no to 100 other applicants and they say yes to your college application? Yes. So how does it feel when they see something like this? Do you think they feel good about this? No, they don't. Here's how they responded. Who is the hiring manager? I'm sure they would love to know that you will hate the work. We here at Cisco are versed in the web. Now, unfortunately, you might think, oh, it's okay. She can go interview anywhere else and it's absolutely fine, Josh. And perhaps that's true. I tell students she probably could go interview anywhere else, but do you think the next company that would interview her would Google her? Yes. Here's what they find. They find that this is the #1 incident to teach people how to get fired with just one tweet. You see, this incident was picked up and written about in a negative way by CNN, by ABC, by NBC, by Huffington Post, and more. And on the left-hand side now, the Google resume that this person have is a very different resume now because it's very negative. And she was fired over just one tweet, just one. And so call it other organizations that search for her might see a very different story. Now, it's not always easy to be safe on social media, but I want to give you the 3 words that have kept me out of trouble for the most part. I always ask myself, is what I'm about to send light? Is it positive and fun? If it is, check. Is this bright? Be smart, think first. If it is, check. And last, is this polite, or is it something you're proud of ending up on a billboard? If it is, then check. Light, bright, and polite. Now, I want to give you next steps. Parents, please consider searching for your students on Google. and encourage them to sit next to you and do it. Decide if you're happy with the results that you see. Even if your student is not on Google, you still must do number one. Go search for your student. If your student is not on social media, you think they're okay, you still must search. Bad things come up. Go number two, decide if you're happy with the results. If your students aren't happy with the results, look at their Instagram as a portfolio. And if your students are in high school, consider signing up for LinkedIn and YouTube to start to change their Google results. You can learn more about that at safesmartsocial.com, how to use YouTube, how to use LinkedIn, and all of the other networks. I want to thank you for watching this video, this presentation on how to shine online using social media for students. I'm Josh Ochs with safesmartsocial.com. Thank you very much.